There's a ton of crops and pets that are inside Grow a Garden. However, there's a handful of items that never made it into the game. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys every scrapped item that never made it to Grow a Garden. So if you do enjoy today's video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to hit 15k by the end of the month, so anything helps out. But with that being said, let's jump right in. So inside of Grow a Garden, I was able to find a total of 22 scrapped items. This includes a few crops, pets, and even some gears also. We're going to start out with a crop. It's called the Aura Flora. Though there is no image of it currently, it is on the Grow a Garden wiki, which means it is inside the game's code. But the Aura Flora is a rare crop and has an average value of 29,000. Which is not bad, but we do have another crop worth even more. And we actually have an image of it. So this right here is called the Blue Lollipop. And just like the Aura Flora, this is also a rare crop. And this crop here has an average value of 50,000, making it twice as better as the Aura Flora. But if you want to get this thing, it's only obtainable with admin or testing rights. That goes for every other item on this list also, because once again this was found inside the game's code. But now we have an interesting one. We have the candy corn. Not to be confused with the candy corn we got in the Halloween event here. You know, the ones you can throw inside the cauldron here, the ones you can throw inside the jack-o'-lantern also. This candy corn here is a gear. It was supposed to be obtainable in the fall gear shop, and for its effect it gives 50 XP to a pet. And the reason we know this exists is that it can be found on the fall festival's gear shop. If we just take a look, it is right over here. Let's now continue on with the cool beanstalk, which is our first prismatic crop, but it only has an average value of 28,000. And design wise, it looks just like a beanstalk. So yeah, nothing really changed. Kinda obvious why this is scrapped, but the cool beanstalk was replaced by the Snapperino Beanerini, which I am not saying again. Alright though, now we have the corrupted Zen egg. The only scrapped egg on this list here, which was supposed to be added part 2 of the Zen update. And if we just take a look at this pet, which is located inside of the egg, which I am not going to try and pronounce, is also considered a scrapped item. And for its ability to increase lucky harvest chance, which not gonna lie sounds really cool. But also let me know in the comments below which of these scrapped items you would like to see in the game. But to continue on, our next scrapped item is the Crimson Vine, which is a divine crop. However, it only has an average value of 1,250. And some of you guys might know this, but I've already talked about this thing. But the Crimson Vine was replaced by the Celesta Berry, which they do look exactly the same. And the produces of the crop are not collectible nor stealable. Meaning if you were to just steal it right now if you wanted to, take this giant watermelon right here, let's say it's the Crimson Vine, you can't. But something else I've already showed you guys is the Dragon Sapling, which is a legendary crop. And for its average value, that's going to be 69,000, which is the highest average value of any crop we've taken a look at today. And the Dragon Sapling was replaced by the Zen Flare, where once again they look alike. It's not too big of a difference. But now for our next crop, we have the Fennel. Once again, there is no image of this, but you can find it on the wiki, meaning it is located inside the game's code. But the Fennel is a rare crop and has an average value of 50,000. And once again, to obtain it, you'll need admin or testing rights. But now for our 9th scrapped item, we have another pet called the Golden Bee, which is a mythical pet. And for its ability, it occasionally pollinates fruit and they become golden. Also, harvested fruit has a chance to turn gold. So basically, really similar to the dragonfly. As you can see, it turns one random fruit to gold. I personally think it's better than the dragonfly. However though, the golden bee could easily be confused for the honeybee. They're exactly the same. Before our next item, we have the King of Palm, which is another legendary crop, and its average value is 15,000, and there's actually proof this is inside the game's code, because once again, unfortunately, there is no image. So here, as you guys can see, we have the King Palm inside of the game's code, so that's really cool. Continuing on, our next scrapped item is called the Medium Bowl, which is a legendary gear you could obtain inside the cooking event. And for its effects, it gives your pets a medium boost to their size and weight. As for the way it could be obtained inside of the cooking event, that's unknown. But going back to crops, we have the America Mushroom. This is actually really cool. This is a legendary crop, and as the name states, you could get it inside of the 4th of July event, and its average sale value is 40,000 shekels. As of right now, it is only obtainable with admin or testing rights, but don't get me wrong, the American mushroom is really cool. And for a fun fact, you could actually find the American mushroom inside Flamingo's video. So here is a screenshot of that right there where you can see a bit of the American mushroom. But going back to gears, we have the Pet Mutation Shard Mega. That is right here is a divine gear, and for its effects it applies the Mega Mutation on a selected pet, which I think is really cool because you wouldn't have to come down to the pet mutations right here and then hope for a Mega Mutation. You could get that right there. Let me know if you would like to see that in the game too in the comments below. Personally, I think it's really cool, but for the time being it is only obtainable with admin or testing rights. Once again, just like everything else. But if you thought that was a cool gear, we have even more to look at too. Up next we have this plant booster, which is a legendary gear, and you were supposed to be able to obtain this inside of the cooking event. However, as of right now it is only obtainable with admin or testing rights, and there really is no image of it, but it is on the wiki, which means it is inside the game's code. Once again, how else would we know of its existence? But what we do know of is the rainbow lollipop, another prismatic item. It's just a prismatic gear, and it looks really similar to the level up lollipop, only difference being it is just rainbow. As you can see, the level up lollipop here is just red and white. So I'm thinking the rainbow lollipop could have done something really similar to the level up lollipop, probably having something to do with pets and leveling them up. Maybe it was just a better version of it though, but we do not know. But now next we have another pet, which is called the red dragon. And for its design, it's only common. Now what's interesting about the red dragon is that it was first shown in the Grow Garden Discord leaks channel, and for its ability it occasionally sets a random nearby fruit ablaze, applying the burnt mutation. Since it's not in the game anymore, that was applied to the cooked owl. You could also find it inside the garden guide at some point, but now that is removed. As you can see, I've typed in red dragon, nothing's popping up, but we do have the cooked owl, so if the devs ever think about bringing the red dragon back into the game, they're gonna have to give it a different ability, and I'm curious on what they would give to the red dragon. But then up next we have this thing called a Shekels gun, which is a divine gear, and its name implies it is literally just a Shekels gun. Does it give out free shekels? I do not know, and the obtainment method is unknown. Yes, again. But up next we have this thing called the Shimmer Sprout, which is a mythical crop you could obtain inside the fairy event, and for its average value it's only 350. Once again though, there is no image for it, but it does appear inside the game's code and it is on the wiki. But seeing the average value is only 350, it is gonna look kinda basic, so nothing too crazy to get excited for. Once again though, it was scrapped and we don't know what it looks like, so it could look cool, who knows. But something we do have is the Sinister Drip, which was supposed to be a legendary crop you could obtain inside the cooking event, and its average value is 69,000 shekels. And not gonna lie, it looks like some sort of mushroom, but if you want to get it now, it's only obtainable with admin or testing rights. But moving away from pets for now, we have the small bowl. Similar to the medium bowl, you could probably get this inside the cooking event also, and a small bowl is a legendary gear. And for this effects, it gives your pet a small boost to their size and weight, just like how the medium bowl gives a medium boost. Once again though, we do have this medium treat right here and also the medium toy, so there is really no use for the bowls. But now to end it off, we have the Spectrails. And this here is a legendary crop you could obtain inside the Beanstalk event, and its average value is going to be 7,500. And once again, there is no image for it, but here it is on site of the Grow Garden wiki. But yeah, other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know which of these scrapped items you guys would like to see inside Grow Garden in the comments below, because not gonna lie, there are a bunch of good ones. But if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and I will see you guys next time. Peace.